fantastic empire. I'm Ronnie Cade, and joining me today is fellow collector and my brother in law, Paolo.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me, Ronnie. I'm excited to be here and show off my collection today and to all your viewers watching.
Freaking A. Honestly, I've heard a lot about your collection, and I'm very excited to check it out, so let's get to it.
Sounds good, let's go.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with a little bit of the old school WWF collection I got here. I really started collecting action figures probably since childhood. I was a really big wrestling fan growing up, and my collection really stems from old school to really like new generation, and then the modern what's going on right now with WWE AEW. So let's start here, right in the middle. We got one of my favorite action figures right there. It's Bret the Hitman Hart. And right behind him is Jim Anvil Neidhart and the British Bulldog right behind onto his left. So those are really three of my favorite wrestlers. The reason for is Bret Hart, obviously Calgary icon.
Yep.
So how can you not love Bret Hart? And then the whole Hart Foundation and even the British Bulldog. He was a really amazing Calgary wrestler growing up, and how can you not love the British Bulldog? Then we got right here, we'll start from left to right. So we got the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Woo! How can you not love Ric Flair? Come on, styling and profiling at 60 to 70, still wrestling to today. Right? I'm a huge Ric Flair fan. Then right beside him is Mae Young. So a lot of controversy with her right now, but honestly, she was a pillar in women's wrestling throughout the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Jake the Snake Robertson is right next to her. Honestly, crazy thing is he's still a manager today, and he's in AEW every now and again. Still an amazing just figure and just mainstream wrestler. Then we got Kamala over here. Kamala I don't know much on. I don't even know why I got this toy as a kid. Honestly, I'd be real with all your viewers and everything. I probably just thought it was just a cool action figure, right? And then kind of seen clips of him here and now again, but it wasn't that big throughout the WWF, but still it's a cool action figure.
He is pretty cool.
Yeah. Right, got the face paint and everything, the big belly. Then we got Jimmy Snuka right here. So the Superfly, great wrestler. Again, this was obviously all these wrestlers predated my time, but just going back and watching a lot of their clips, it makes you appreciate the action figure even more, knowing that you have that part of your collection.
You just had to throw that in there, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Make me feel older. Okay.
And then obviously we got the Hart Dynasty right there. But right next are two pretty recognizable action figures, I'd say. It's two different iterations of Hulk Hogan. Who isn't a Hulkamaniac, even to today?
Yeah,
right?
seriously.
I'm sure you were a Hulkamaniac as a kid, weren't you, Ronnie?
Yeah, back in the day I was.
God, everyone was. I had the bandana and did the funny poses and everything too. Just
I was
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan, and honestly, the Hearts.
Yeah.
Just because, like you said, Calgary, right?
Exactly. Right?
And the fact that we would run into them.
Yeah. Oh, many times, it's, as a Calgarian, it's a known thing to run into one of the Hearts.
I think that one of the coolest things is when you go to an amusement park and you see them waiting in a line. I think it happened with me 3 times when I was a kid, and they're actually very nice. I met both Bret and Owen.
I met Bret once when he was actually playing the genie in a Calgary adaptation of Aladdin. So
That's
was
cool.
Really cool as a kid, and then I ran into him at Subway Marta Loop once. Both times he was a pleasure to talk to.
Of all places, eh?
There you go. And then we got one of the Road Warriors right here. So this is something I kind of might add to my collection, is add the other team member, because they are a tag team, the Road Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think about adding to it, but we got him right there. And then we got Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So this is a unique guy right here. He's just missing the 2x4 to complete the collection, but honestly, Hacksaw is an amazing.
He's even posed to be holding it.
There you go, right? I don't know if I lost it, the 2x4, it just never came with it, but that's the only thing that's missing from it. And then we got the 1-2-3 Kid right there, the last little part. And this is where we're starting to go more into the 90s, mid to late 90s. He was part of the Clique.
Okay.
And he's known that when he came into WWE, he was a jobber, which a jobber is in wrestling is basically you just get defeated right away in a few seconds, and that's the end.
Yep.
And he actually won, and he beat one of the top guys in the match, and that's why he's called the 1-2-3 Kid, because 1-2-3 won his match.
Oh,
okay. Popularity took off from there. So so that's really, I would say this collection right here, this stems from wrestlers starting really, I'd say in the 50s, 60s, 70s, all the way up until the mid 90s.
That's a pretty nice little setup you got there.
Thank you. And hey, there's a lot more to come.
Nice. I'm excited to check out the rest.
Okay, so now we're going to go into a little bit of like Attitude Era to Ruthless Aggression Era WWE, WWF collection right here. So I'll start off with a couple of my favorites. So right there in the back, he wasn't a very famous wrestler, but Nunzio, right there in the green shorts. The reason I liked him was as a fellow Italian, it was kind of cool to see an Italian on screen. And the other reason I really like this action figure is a little story behind it. My dad rarely ever bought me any toys or anything like that. And I remember on eBay back in like, must have been like 2008, 2009, I found on there. But obviously as a kid, I don't have an eBay account. So I went to my dad. And I think because Nunzio was Italian, he said sure and bought it off eBay for me. So that's probably one of my favorite action figures that we got showing right here.
That's awesome.
Also a couple of well-known guys. So obviously, you can't smell him for all those viewers at home, but I got The Rock right there. Then to his left, Booker T. And surprisingly, you can see him. It's John Cena as well. Then we got the late, great Eddie Guerrero right there. Honestly, one of my favorite wrestlers as well growing up. And then a controversial wrestler, and it's a shame for what happened, but Chris Benoit. Still an amazing performer. Was really, before the tragedy, one of my favorite wrestlers as a kid. Then we got Carlito right there. And then Rob Van Dam to his left. And Trish Stratus. Shelton Benjamin. And he doesn't have a broken freaking neck here, but that's Kurt Angle right there. Then we got Finley right behind him. And then we got Kane. So nicely about this wrestler too, actually the Kane one was one of my first action figures that I started collecting. This would have been, gotta be like 2005, 2006, around there, like early childhood. Kane was one of my first.
I love how you say 2005, 2006 is your early childhood. That makes me want to cry.
Hey, listen, now I know how you feel when someone that says like 2010, 2015 was an early childhood. But then we got Devon right beside Kane,
yeah.
And then Eugene. And then a local Canadian right there, Chris Jericho. So that's his WWE action figure. I am still waiting to get the AEW one. I think that's going to be a new one on my list. Then we got John Morrison. So right there, he's part of MNN, a group that is really famous in WWE, a tag team. So I got one of them right there. And then obviously there's Nunzio again. And then the Big Show coming up right here. And crazy story about this action figure. It's the only one I didn't get in Canada. So this one was back in 2010. It was a birthday gift when I went to Italy. My family found out I liked wrestling, so they decided to give me an action figure as a present. So they got me the Big Show. So there is the only international action figure I got. Then we got CM Punk right over there. And what now, crazy story about this Randy Orton one right there beside CM Punk is that's actually a newer one. So I really got out of collecting after probably around high school. I stopped watching wrestling, stopped caring about it. So I kind of got out of it. And then I don't know why, but I just revisited probably my early 20s, I would say. So just in middle of university, I decided to revisit wrestling, fell in love with it again. As bad as wrestling can be, especially today, it's not like how it used to be, but I just fell in love with it again. So I decided to treat myself to some wrestlers. And Randy Orton was one of them I got. Honestly, loved Randy Orton as a kid. So decided to get one of the action figures. So that's one of the newer ones. Then we got Bobby Lashley right there. Chavo Guerrero right beside him. The late great Umaga. And as a kid, this guy used to give me some crazy nightmares. One really intimidating guy. And then William Regal. And then right in front of them are some pretty famous, recognizable faces. So we got Edge. And was just such a giant Edge fan growing up. He did some crazy stuff on the television. I still remember when he speared. It was Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy was hanging on the belts, and from the top of the ladder, Edge speared him down to the ground. Just freaking love Edge. This guy's action figure. And then there's the Undertaker right beside him. And wrapping up this collection, so it might be a little bit random. I don't know if many people will recognize him, and honestly, if they do, I'll be very impressed. But it's Paul Burchill, the only, to my knowledge, and I hope your viewers don't get mad at me for this, but the only, to my knowledge, pirate-themed wrestler. Now, he was only around for a sip of coffee, but I just remember Paul Burchill was crazy. Probably because the Pirates of the Caribbean were out, and they wanted to capitalize on that kind of bandwagon.
Oh, that makes sense.
So it was crazy. This man used to jump from like a rope, like a pirate, and swing into the ring. And used to throw out like beads and like necklaces, like jewelry to the crowd. And honestly, as a little kid, like what little kid doesn't like pirates? It's to see one on like your TV, like fighting. Never won anything, but I had to get his action figure. So that really wraps up this collection. Hey, there's more to come, so I hope you guys are ready. Okay, so now we're entering into some more modern, current era wrestling action figures right here. So I guess, honestly, let's start right in the middle. So this may be a little bit older, but I want to say this must have been like 2009. I got this as a gift, the WWE Intercontinental Championship belt. And I know to all your viewers, it may just look like a rusty old piece of plastic, but what was kind of cool about it was I got a local Calgary Stampeder to sign it. It was a bowling birthday party that my parents threw for me. And there's the Stampeders were bowling right beside us. So we went over, me as a little kid, and got one of them to sign it right there. So you can kind of still see the signature.
Oh, that's cool.
Might be hard.
Yeah, no, I see it.
And then, yeah, I guess we're just going over a few of these action figures. I could talk about a couple of my favorite ones that I got. So right here, over here, Roman Reigns. Yeah, on the left. So this is one of my more recent ones I got. I want to say maybe 2-3 years ago. I bought this one. So again, this is when I was just getting back into collecting and wanted to add to my collection. I got to start the biggest current wrestler right now. So I got my Roman Reigns action figure. Then right beside him is Chris Masters. Now this is an action figure I hold close to my heart. I was such a big Chris Masters fan as a kid growing up. Honestly, I still remember as a kid watching him come out with the robe over his back. He was called the Masterpiece because he was built like a Greek statue.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember the music and everything. I honestly want to say that he's one of the reasons I started getting into like working out and all that, because I saw he looked like a Greek god, and as a kid I'm like, I want to be like that. So that's probably why I started working out.
You just had to throw that in there too, right?
Little bit.
Yeah, Mr. Buff Guy.
Then we got the phenomenal AJ Styles right here. Terrific wrestler. What's crazy though, Ronnie, I'll tell you this. I knew AJ Styles back in his like independent TNA, like I want to say like, mid 2000s wrestler before he went to WWE. He went to WWE later in life, and the second he signed, I'm like, I gotta get an AJ action figure once he comes out.
That's cool.
AJ Styles right there. Then I want to save the box for last because that's a little special right there. So we're gonna go. There's Samoa Joe. Again, just intimidating. I'm a grown man. I'm scared of Samoa Joe. Like when they chant "Joe's gonna kill you," I honestly think they mean it. Samoa Joe, such a terrific wrestler. Again, one of my favorites. I used to watch him back in the day in TNA and all that before WWE. So just a soft place for me right there. And then we got Cesaro, or currently he's in AEW as Claudio Castagnoli. Again, just a terrific wrestler. I remember when WWE came to Calgary in like 2017, I want to say, I got his shirt and I got signed, and it's still hanging up in my room. So just another real like favorite thing of mine. And then we got Xavier Woods right there. So again, just got into collecting again, decided to get a New Day action figure, and I just went with Xavier Woods. So now right here, this is my prize collection right here. So I'm sure all your viewers can tell most of the wrestlers are outside the box. This one's not, and I'll tell you why. This is the Fiend Bray Wyatt, and I was a huge Bray Wyatt fan through all the different iterations of his character. But when he introduced the Fiend, it sent chills down my spine. He's so cool. Like you could just like the face and the intricacies of the mask and like the gloves and everything, just the depth that this character possessed. I had to get the action figure. And I'm going to say this. What's crazy is I bought this action figure, decided to keep in the box, which I never do. I'm always the guy, even today, I'll take it out and like still mess around with it. But I decided, I'm going to leave this one in the box. It's too cool to take out.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would have been, I want to say last year, late August, I was with my wife watching a movie in downtown Calgary. And I pull up my phone just for fun, just to like doom scroll, just check messages. And I get the notification Bray Wyatt passed away.
Oh no.
At 38 years old, the man passed away just when he just came back to WWE 2. And it was heartbreaking. And to know that you got his action figure just maybe a couple years, not even, before the man passed away, gone too soon. So that's why I don't think this one will ever leave its box. Just, it's too much of a prize in my collection.
That's fair.
And that really does it for all my wrestling collections. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and honestly, leave a comment down below on which one was your favorite.
Thank you for showing me your collection, Paolo. I really enjoyed it.
Hey, thank you for inviting me. This was a lot of fun, and honestly, I think it gave me the itch to add more to my collection. So I hope to be back soon.
Did you hear that? He wants to start collecting again.
No, please, please no.
That's his wife, my sister Julie, who's obviously distraught that he wants to start collecting again.
Say hi, Julie.
Hi, hesitantly.
I always knew I would bring him back to the dark side, so mission accomplished. Anywho, that's it for today's video, guys. We're out. Stay blessed and happy collecting.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.